Hey guys, it's your girl Kay Janice, and I'm back with the Week 13 predictions. Hope everyone had a great week and enjoyed a lot of good football. If you looked at my predictions last week and you listened closely, you'll see that I'm 5-0 right now as it stands. So that's a good thing. My predictions were right. My scores were not as accurate, so definitely want to get better on the scoring side of things. But as far as who won and who lost, I was right on it. So I'm glad you've tuned back in this week, and hopefully you'll continue to watch as the season nears, closer to the Super Bowl. Real quick before I begin, I'd like to do obviously news and notes, kind of what went on in the league this week. And unfortunately, longtime NFL QB veteran, one of my favorite, Donovan McNabb, was released by the Minnesota Vikings. Donovan, to me, I've always been his biggest advocate, kind of like a Skip Bayless to a Tim Tebow. It's a Kerry Baldwin to a Donovan McNabb. I've always been able to pull out the best in him. And he's one of those QBs in the league that I feel he's just never gotten the credit he deserved. Partly due to the fact that he had so much success, but he was unable to win the game. He was unable to win the Super Bowl. So much success sometimes can be a downfall or can be a hindrance to one's career. And unfortunately, I think that's what happened to Donovan. He never won the big game. But all in all, I wish him the best of luck. In my opinion, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, probably one of the most consistent QBs in the NFL. And I can't forget all the NFC East championships that the Philadelphia Eagles won under his, leadership. So utmost professional. I wish him well. And if the Eagles were smart, they'd pick up the phone and they'd call him. We're not sure if Vic is playing this week, but after these last 2 weeks, they might need to pick up the phone and call Donovan. Speaking of the Eagles, Thursday's game once again was just tumultuous. It just adds to the just the disarray that the team is in, unfortunately. The Seattle Seahawks ran all through the multi-million-dollar defense once again. Marshawn Lynch had a stellar performance against the Philadelphia Eagles as they collapsed, they broke down, and just really just looked poorly out there. Andy Reid, being the coach that he is, the players' coach, once again, has pretty much taken it all on his back and just continues to say that he's responsible for it. It appears that a lot of the Eagles have just had mental breakdowns. They have really just checked out, from Deshaun Jackson to Asante Samuel. They're definitely going to have to go back to the drawing board at the end of the season and really figure out how the team fell apart and how they can pick up the pieces. The good thing is that Michael Vick is set to play this week, so hopefully they can finish strong. If nothing else, the 8-8 season at 500 is not so bad considering the way they've started. So once again, my advice, Andy Reid, you guys in Philadelphia, pick up the phone and call Donovan. It'd be a good way to have him at least come back and let him retire with some dignity. He deserves that much. Now on to my top 5 games for the week. I've picked the Packers and the Giants, the Steelers versus the Bengals, the Lions and the Saints, the Falcons and the Texans, and the Bills and the Titans. So we will start with the Packers and the Giants, and we know the Giants were on a 3-game losing streak. And although they're known for ending that quote unquote perfect season, I say that the Green Bay Packers continue on with their winning streak and they finish 12-0 once they're finished playing the Giants. The reasons I say that, although Ahmad Bradshaw is due to return this week, the Giants just don't have it in them. They're not playing that top-notch football that we oftentimes see them play at the end of the season. They just don't look as well. And the Green Bay Packers are just on a roll. I doubt that the Giants will be able to spoil their perfect season after this week. So I'm going to go ahead and give the edge to the Packers and say that they're going to win 37-17. My next game, the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. This is a division rivalry. And the Bengals and Steelers, this will be their second time playing in the last 4 weeks. The Bengals coming off of two tough losses to the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers, losing by 7. And Pittsburgh won last week versus the Chiefs, slight edge 13-9, and they had a bye week prior to that. I'm actually going to say that it's revenge time. I think the Bengals have something to prove, and Andy Dalton, they have a wild card spot at stake here, and I don't think that they're going to let the Steelers beat them 2 times in 4 weeks. So I'm going to give a slight edge to the Cincinnati Bengals and say that they're going to win 24-23. My next game, the Detroit Lions versus the New Orleans Saints. Look for this to be a high-flying, high-action-packed offensive game from the gate. That's right. My concern for the Lions is the absence of their all-star defensive player, Sue, who's been suspended for 2 games. Um, I doubt that the Lions will be able to stop the high-action-packed Saints offense that is just rolling through the league right now. It just doesn't seem that they'll be able to control Breeze and his trio. So also the Saints are looking to clinch the division right now, and they're definitely on pace to do so. So I'm going to give the edge to the Saints, and I have them winning 35-21. My next game, the Atlanta Falcons and the Houston Texans. Third string QB Yates is the next man at the helm for the Texans. And as they try to maintain their division status quo, being the leaders, the Falcons are hungry. They've got a lot to prove, and they've got a lot to play for. They are in a wild card hunt as well. And I really think that they have more to lose. So with this game, I'm going to go ahead and give the slight edge to the Atlanta Falcons and say that they're going to win 17-14. My last game, the Tennessee Titans versus the Buffalo Bills. Now, you guys may be saying, well, why is she predicting this game? The Titans are 6-5, the Bills are 5-6. Although they would have been 6-5 had they beat the Jets last week, which in my opinion, they almost did. This game looks to be good because the Titans have their leading rusher in Chris Johnson, and he'll be back, obviously, this week. And the feisty Bills, I mean, they looked pretty good against the Jets until Stevie started dropping passes after he was imitating Plexico, which was really just karmic if you ask me. So I see this to be a pretty intense game. The Titans have a lot to play for. Once again, they're in the playoff hunt as well, and they're looking to get into the playoffs. And it's just going to be a fun game. Looks to be exciting. I'm going to go ahead, though, and give the edge to the Tennessee Titans because they have a lot more to play for and say that they're going to win 17-14. Now, to all my college football fans out there, if you watched the SEC championship game today against the University of Georgia Bulldogs and the LSU Tigers, you probably were just as surprised as I was when the game started. Georgia got off to a great start. However, I knew that they would lose once they stopped capitalizing, or should I say not stopped capitalizing because they never did, when they did not convert all of those opportunities into touchdowns. You can't have 2 drop passes and a missed field goal against the #1 team in the country. It just does not work that way. You saw what the score was. The LSU Tigers came back to defeat the Georgia Bulldogs, and the game, the second half of the game was completely different from the first half of the game. So congratulations to the LSU Tigers and their outstanding coach, and Les Miles. It definitely was a fun game to watch and to see the LSU Tigers come back and defeat the Georgia Bulldogs. Those are my predictions for this week. Stay tuned. Come back and check me out next week, week 14. And happy Football Sunday. Enjoy game day. And I'll be back to see you guys next week. Take care.